A few weeks ago, I showed you the 5 levels of turntables, and a lot of you grabbed your first decent deck. Congrats! But then the comments started rolling in, all asking the same thing. Okay, I've got the turntable. Now which cartridge do I put on it? So today, I'm answering that. And right up front, here's the bottom line, because I know that's what you came for. For the vast majority of you, the best buy of 2026 is the Audio-Technica VM95E, a moving magnet cartridge for around $50 that upgrades your sound dramatically. And depending on your case, I've got 4 more options, from the honest entry point all the way up to the king of bang for your buck. But before you touch anything, you need to hear this, because it's the part that really matters. Right now, something could be destroying your records without you even knowing it. And it's not dust, and it's not humidity. It's the stylus itself. A worn stylus, or a cheap, badly shaped one, doesn't glide along the groove. It scrapes it. It tears tiny shavings of vinyl out on every single rotation, and there's no going back. The record is damaged for good. The worst part is it happens silently, record after record, while you think everything is fine. So stick around, because I'm going to show you how to spot it. And number 2 on this list is the exact stylus that punishes your records the least of the whole lineup. And heads up, number 4 hides a trick in its spec sheet that almost every brand shares, and that the manufacturer would rather you didn't understand. First, the basics, because this saves you money. A cartridge has 2 parts, the body and the stylus, which is the piece with the diamond, and it's removable. Write this down. On almost every good cartridge, when the stylus wears out, you don't toss the whole cartridge, you just swap the stylus. A lot of people waste money buying a whole new cartridge when all they needed was a replacement needle. And now the big decision, the one that scares everybody and shouldn't. Moving magnet or moving coil, MM or MC. The moving magnet, the MM, puts out a strong signal. It works with any amp that has a normal phono input, and you swap the stylus yourself at home in 2 minutes. The moving coil, the MC, sounds gorgeous, with more detail, but it puts out a much weaker signal. It needs a special, pricier phono preamp, and on top of that, you can't swap the stylus yourself. Here's my honest take, no fluff. For 95% of folks coming from their first or second turntable, the answer is moving magnet, MM, period. Moving coil is beautiful, but that's for later. One last thing before the list, the trick I promised. You'll see a ton of STYLI advertised as elliptical. Sounds like an upgrade. But there are elliptical and there are elliptical. The cheap ones use a diamond glued onto a metal shank. Those are called bonded. They weigh more at the tip, they track the groove worse, and they wear it down more. The good ones use a solid diamond carved from a single piece. Those are called nude. They weigh far less at the tip. They read the groove better. And pay attention, they last longer, and they punish your records less. Same word on the box, 2 completely different worlds. Remember this, nude or line contact whenever you can. Now, let's get to number 5. Number 5 is your first real upgrade, the honest entry point, the Audio-Technica VM95C, around $49. The C stands for conical. It's the simplest tip, a little round ball that rests in the center of the groove walls. Here's who it's for. The person coming from an entry-level turntable with a free ceramic cartridge, the kind glued onto cheap decks. And those, yeah, those are the ones eating your records. Switching to this VM95C is like taking off a dirty pair of glasses. Suddenly you hear things that weren't there. Personally, I wouldn't stay here too long, because for just a little more you take a huge leap. But as a first step on a tight budget, it's honest and it delivers. And one fact almost nobody tells you, the conical tip lasts around 500 hours. Note that, because we'll compare it later, and there's a surprise coming. Number 4 is the sweet spot where most of you should be, the Audio-Technica VM95E, around $74. The E stands for elliptical. That second curve on the tip touches more of the groove surface, so it pulls way more detail, especially in the highs and the vocals, than the conical. For 74 bucks, it's the best bang for your buck on the whole list for the average listener, no debate. Its direct rival here is the legendary Ortofon 2M Red, around $110. It sounds great and the brand is a legend. But heads up, here's that trick from the start in its purest form. Both the VM95E and the 2M Red are bonded elliptical, meaning you're paying for the name, but the tip is the same basic type. My honest opinion. If the Ortofon name pulls you in, go for it. It's excellent. But if you want to squeeze every dollar, the Audio-Technica gives you the same thing for a lot less. And if you already own a 2M Red, don't buy a new cartridge. Just buy the 2M Blue STYLUS for it. It fits the same body and the jump is instant. Number 3 is for the one chasing a sound with soul, with character. The Nagaoka MP-110, around $170. This Japanese cartridge is famous for a warm, organic sound, with vocals and mids that make you fall in love. If your thing is jazz vocals, classical, or folk, this one will give you goosebumps. I recommend it from the heart for that specific listener. But since I'm your friend here and not a salesman, here's the honest catch. The manufacturer itself recommends replacing the stylus at 150 to 200 hours. That is very little. If you listen a lot, the replacement comes around fast, and that replacement costs money. Keep that in mind before you fall in love with the sound alone. By the way, there's a tiny, dirt-cheap accessory that changes the game for any of these STYLI, and it's what really protects your records. I'll tell you at the end. Don't miss it. And we're at number 2, which for me is the hidden audiophile steal of all of 2026, the Audio-Technica VM95E, around $179. The ML stands for MicroLine, a line contact tip. Here's what that means for you. The diamond almost exactly mimics the shape of the cutter that carved the original master, so it reaches parts of the groove a regular elliptical can't even touch. The result is detail and cleanliness that embarrass cartridges costing twice as much. But here's the beautiful part, and it's what ties back to the hook from the start. This MicroLine tip lasts around 1,000 hours, versus the 300 hours of an elliptical, or the 500 of the conical from number 5. Read that again. The best sounding one is also the one that lasts the longest and punishes your vinyl the least, because it spreads the pressure over more surface. The reviewers consistently crown it the best cartridge under 200. If you want to know which one to buy so you don't have to think about this again for years, this is my answer. And number 1, the absolute king of the fidelity jump. The Ortofon 2M Blue, around $220. Here, Ortofon brings out the heavy artillery. The 2M Blue runs a nude elliptical tip, that solid diamond we talked about. Less mass at the tip, better groove tracking, less wear. It's the biggest, most obvious jump in quality you'll hear over an entry cartridge. More body, more air, more realism. It's the cartridge half the mid to high-end vinyl world runs. And for one reason, it works. Here's who it's for. The one who's truly hooked, has a good deck and a good amp, and wants the upgrade that really shows without going broke. And once again, the Ortofon trick. If later you want to climb even higher, you buy just the 2M bronze stylus for the same body. The brand is designed so you move up the ladder without throwing away what you had. Smart on their part, and convenient for you. And now, what I promised, which is probably the most important tip in the whole video. You can buy the most expensive stylus in the world, but if the force it presses on the record with is not right, it will sound bad, and worse, it will eat your vinyl. That is called tracking force, and every cartridge has its exact number. The VM95, for example, asks for around 2 grams. If it presses too light, the stylus jumps inside the groove and chips away at it. If it presses too hard, it crushes it and wears it down. The fix costs about $17. A little digital scale for STYLI. $17 to protect a record collection worth hundreds. It's the best investment you'll make today, I guarantee it. I'll leave one up in the card. And since you're building your full vinyl setup, remember I've got the video on the 5 levels of turntables and the one on the best powered speakers for turntables, so you've got the whole rig covered. Quick recap, so you've got it crystal clear. Number 5, the Audio-Technica VM95E, conical, your first honest upgrade over the free cartridge. Number 4, the VM95E, elliptical, the sweet spot for most people at around $74. Number 3, the Nagaoka MP-110, for the one chasing a warm sound with soul, but watch out for its short stylus life. Number 2, the VM95ML, the MicroLine tip, better sound, longer life, and the one that damages your records the least. My favorite to invest once and forget. And number 1, the Ortofon 2M Blue nude tip, the definitive bang-for-your-buck fidelity jump. And no matter what, don't play another record without setting your tracking force right. So drop your turntable and the music you listen to most in the comments, and I'll tell you exactly which stylus is yours, with data. You've got all 5 cartridges, the scale, and the whole rig with up-to-date prices in the links in the description. If this helped you, drop me a like and subscribe. I post no fluff guides like this every week. See you in the next one. Take care.